Greetings and welcome back to my channel. Before we get into the message on today, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button if you like the content. So today we're going to be talking about when you have to, when you decide, because you don't have to, when you decide to take care of a narcissist parent during the final stages of their life. And in doing so, you realize that the unhealed version of you, a lot of your habits, was a result of that parent or parents' upbringing. So I'll just give you a brief description of my childhood. I grew up with my father and my evil stepmother. I call her a step monster. But I was 6 years old when my father and stepmother married. And I believed, based on how I was treated, that she wanted him, but she did not want us, based on the way that we were treated versus the way he was treated. A lot of the abuse took place when my father wasn't around. And if some of it would if some of it would surface when my father was around, he would shut it down quickly. He would shut it down by saying, leave them alone. But it just seems as though that I had it worse than any one of my siblings. I have two younger sisters. I have two younger sisters, and I believe that I had it worse than them, me being the oldest. I had to take care of my siblings. When I say that, I had to go over homework, I had to cook, I had to clean. I felt like I was the Cinderella of the family. Everything was thrown on me. I even had to discipline my sisters. I never had a childhood. My father was a very strict parent. Very strict. We weren't allowed to go to family friends and things like that. It was very sheltered. We weren't allowed to watch TV. We weren't allowed to listen to secular music. It was just the only thing that we really did was go to church and come back home. We was preacher. My father was a minister. So we were in church all the time. 2 times on Sunday, 2 times during the week, and sometimes more than that. It all depends on if the church has something going on. So, like I was stating, a lot of the abuse took place when my father wasn't there. So on my father's deathbed, I promised my father that I would take care of her. And now she's going through the end stages of her life. I'm at that point where I am doing what I told my father I would do. So recently, she had to move in to my home, and it hasn't been that long, but I am seeing so many of my unhealed self in her how I parented my older kids versus my younger kids, and how the upbringing with them has affected my life, and how I have carried some of those negative things over into my a lot of those things over into my adult life. But we're going to get back onto the topic of taking care of her during the end stages of her life. And since she's been at my home, this is just a few things that has transpired that with her. When she comes, she's really, really demanding of everything. When she eat, when she take a bath, if it's a piece of paper on the floor, she wants me to immediately stop and just pick up something. Um, she don't like the fact that my kids are being kids. She wants them to just sit down and not do absolutely nothing. She don't want them to move around. And I tell her, I say to her, it's okay. Where it was before with my older kids, I was very stern. And through therapy, it has taught me to release a lot of things that I did not know that I had inside of me. So now my parenting skills are a lot different. So I allow my children to be children. And so, so we're going to get back to the TV part. So we weren't allowed to watch TV. So immediately, so throughout my adult life, because I went so long without watching TV or watching movie, I mean, TV, I don't listen to TV, I don't look at the TV very often, and I don't listen to music very often. I'm just starting to get into that, but um, I didn't do it before. So I got used to being by myself, improvising, getting to know myself. So now that she's here and she wants to run the TV 24/7, and I'm saying to her, I spend a lot of time with my children. They don't watch a whole lot of TV. You know what I'm saying? We cook together, we eat, we sit and play together. I read to them, we walk together, we talk together. We do a lot of things on the inside together. They have chores that we I have structure. I have structure. You know what I'm saying? And she don't understand that. She just want to come and she want to dictate now how I operate in my home. And I have to clearly set boundaries and let her know, no, this is not how we're going to do this. I'm still very respectful. And anytime I go against something that she wants to do, she says, "You are so mean." And then, later on out, in quiet time when she's sitting, I'm outside sitting with her, I'll ask her, how was I as a kid? And she would tell me, she was like, you were a good kid. So the next question was, now she could hear that. She could hear me say, how was I as a kid? And she answered me. And so I would ask, so how come I got so many beatings? And she couldn't answer. She acted as if she didn't understand what I was saying. She was like, she just looked at me, and she never could answer me because I have a lot of loopholes. I don't remember a whole lot of my childhood. But I do remember a lot of the trauma that took place. And I want to know, with my father, I didn't get an opportunity to really ask the questions that I wanted to ask him. So like with me going through therapy now, sometimes I may not always get every answer, but I would like some of the answers. I want some of the answers as I want some of the questions answered that I have. And I just find that it's the best opportunity in love to ask these questions. And so, like I said, she would never answer me and say, um, she said, like I said, she said I was a good kid, but now, she couldn't answer how come I got so many whoopings, beatings. That's how I called them. I won't go into how, but it was, to me, it was very, it wasn't cool whatsoever, because if a man was beating a woman the way I was beat, they would go to jail, or vice versa. If a woman was beating a man, they would go to jail. So I just never understood that, and I'm saying, like, how can three girls in the same house be so traumatized, and no one cared about us, no one tried to help us. But again, I'm going to stay on topic with this subject, taking care of her during the end time. So, um she's really, really demanding, and it seems like everything that I do is not to her liking, or done the way she want me to do it. And I'm like, I try really, really hard to do right by her, because it's apparent that throughout her life that we're not the only people that was affected by her. Because at my father's, at the end of his in life, he had so many people coming in, so many people bringing stuff, you know what I'm saying, in and out. I mean, we sometimes we had so much food, so much people over. I was just overwhelmed, but no one. I'm not going to say no, maybe two people, and that's maybe 3 times a month, will come over to sit with her, and then they come in very briefly. They don't stay for a long period of time. No one come to give a break. No one come in to assist, and it's apparent that you weren't such a nice person. And the things that I hear from neighbors and stuff, it's clear to me. So I wasn't the only one, but the love that I have inside to give to everyone else, I give her grace with that, to bring her in my home and take care of her as if she never did anything to me, because I am healed. I am healed from that. I just have questions. I have questions sometimes. And like I said, I may never get some of those questions answered. But at least I tried. At least I tried. And at least I know that I'm doing everything that I possibly can to help her. I'm not going to turn my back on her. I'm not going to turn my back on her unless I just have to. You know, she's getting to the point where she can do absolutely nothing by herself. Everything has to be done for her. But I won't leave her like that, because I gave my word. And she look at the way that I parent, and she seems like she not envious. She just stares all the time, as if I'm doing something wrong. That I'm sitting here and I'm playing with my kids, and my kids are laughing, and they're enjoying me. I can't say that, because I can never remember getting a hug from her. I never remember, feeling loved and things like that. I, you know, I had to do mostly everything on my own. I had to figure it out. I had to figure it out. I said, even on my, when I came on my cycle, I know I'm being a little authentic here. I went to her and I was like, this, I don't know what's going on. This happened. And she gave me like $10, and she told me to go to the store. I had no clue what to do. I had no clue what to buy. I walked around this store, seemed like forever because there was boys in the store. I was insecure, and I picked up what I thought I needed, and I got the biggest thing on the rack that said super. Now keep in mind I'm very, very small. I was very small at that time. So it's no way that I needed super, but I got the super, and then you go up to this counter, and I was so afraid, and I put it on the counter, and they put this thing in this big old brown paper bag that I had to walk through the neighborhood, and I'm sure people knew what was inside that bag, and I was so embarrassed. And once I got home, and I tried to figure out, look at the box and see what to do with the thing. And then once I did get to that point, I was walking like something was wrong with me. And that went on forever until I figured out, what I needed to make sure that I was good. But I'm just trying to show there were a lot of things that I was lacking with my step monster, that I wish now I know that through healing, you can forgive any and everybody. That don't mean that you have to be with them. That don't mean that you have to do what I'm doing. That don't mean that. Everybody's different. Everybody's level is different. But for God has given me the strength. God has given me the strength to do what I do. But that don't mean that you have to do that. That do not mean that you have to do that. So again, I'm just coming just briefly to just share that with you. In the comments, tell me, just write a brief description and tell me what you think about this video. It would be greatly appreciated. It would be greatly appreciated. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.